Good afternoon, Youngstown. We are back again with another episode of Belly Left Leadership. Remember, the Belly Left Leadership mantra is from a simple athletic play, but it's not just about athletics, but it is about preparing, understanding the role, understanding the goals, understanding the assignments, and then everyone working together and running it at a high level until they stop it. Today, I have someone here that definitely, to me, exemplifies whatever word I just messed up, that mantra. We have with us Miss Tiffaney Trella, who's the Director of Instructional Technology here in the district. And I'm going to let her tell you a lot more about herself, but she is a team player, a Youngstown City School District diehard staff member that has been here. I'll let her tell you how many years, but has done so many different things and helps us make sure that we're staying efficient and make sure also that we're using the best technology possible and in a way that increase instructional technology as well as district operations. So thank you for what you do and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
So I started in the district in 1995 and I was hired as a special education teacher.
Okay.
I was in the middle schools. So I've worked with grades 5 through actually 9.
Okay.
In one of the little stints that we had in Youngstown City Schools. So I was over on the south side. I was at Hillman Middle School for 10 years. In special education, and then I moved to an all-boys school, which we had on the south side. I was there for 5 years, and that's when I worked with 7, 8, and 9. I worked with 5, 6, 7, and 8 the configurations, but it was just all boys. Was a lovely time. During that time, I also became the faculty manager and head of athletics.
Okay.
For
I don't think I knew that.
No, probably not. So for the middle schools, and I worked with Eddie Mady and Mr. Tollio when he was here. So that was a lot of fun. And then after that, I moved over to Wilson when Alpha closed, and I was in 7th and 8th grade. And it was there that Mr. Harrell talked me into becoming a computer technology teacher, which I then did for a couple years at Wilson Middle School. So
shout out to Jerome Harrell. We miss you, Mr. Harrell.
Absolutely. Yes, we do. Yeah. So that's kind of my journey through the teaching aspect. During that time, I did high schools that work, making middle grades work. I worked with that company. And they encouraged me to start presenting at a state and national level on the technology that was happening in the district, even when I wasn't a technology teacher. So I started presenting with Jerome at these conferences. And that's when the assistant superintendent at the time saw me and said, I think we need to do something else with you. So, and that's kind of my segue into the technology position that I'm in currently. Because when I was at Wilson Middle School, before we had an online platform for grading, we actually had one in our building. And we had all of the teachers on the online grading platform. And we had parents from different places in the United States when their students went to Wilson, knew their students' grade and would call us and have communication with us at that time. And we used a platform called Edmodo, which before Google Classroom came out. So, and then that's when Dr. Hathorn at the time had seen me and said, we need to move you, Mr. Hathorn, and we need to move you. So it was exciting.
Wow. So that's a lot. And that's great. But what I heard, though, is that Youngstown City School District has been on the cutting edge of things for a long time. And I keep saying that all the time, that, we know we have some challenges, but Youngstown has been ahead of the game and ahead of the curve in a lot of areas. And Tiffaney herself has been one of those people that keeps us with our eye on the ball, moving in those directions. And, previous administrators obviously saw talent. And we've always tried to keep ourselves moving in that direction. And with people like Tiffaney helping, we're there. And we just need to maximize those skills and competencies and tools. So tell us, what is your job, though? We talked about some of the things, but what do you see as the main things that you do as the Director of Instructional Technology?
So My job as instructional technology actually covers a couple areas. We do instructional technology in the classroom, but then I also cover a little bit of student information for the district. But I would like to focus a little bit more on the instructional technology piece because that's where I have a couple people that work for me. We really get into the classrooms. We work with the teachers. We mentor teachers. We create content and lessons for people to increase their technology skills. And we also like to introduce new concepts to them. So, for example, one of the first lessons we sent out to teachers this year was using an AI platform. So in October, when our first gamified PD came out, their first contest was to see if they could use a piece of AI technology and include it in their instruction and what it could do for them. So we're also trying to keep them on kind of the cutting edge, along with reinforcing the curriculum and the platforms that we have online that we already use. So
you mentioned AI, and I wasn't going to go there, but we need to go there. And I'll tell you, I kind of pride myself on being, I won't say an expert in technology for sure, but I usually try to use the newest things that are coming out, and whatever I'm trying to do, try to incorporate some things. I'll be really honest. I'm a little scared of AI. Now, in just the last month or so, I've started using a little bit in terms of AI meeting notes and those types of things, and it's fabulous. But again, I say I'm still a little scared. So talk to us a little bit about your understanding of AI and how it can help us, and what should we be scared of and what we should not be scared of.
So funny that you say that. I'm currently taking my second class on AI with understanding. The first time was just understanding how it works. This one is actually how can we integrate it in the classrooms and make it successful for teachers and students. And one of the things that I'm fascinated with is the first thing is that you need to look at the company's FERPA and their COPA, which is the laws that say what students can and can't use and what ages they cover. And some of the companies, Magic AI, which they have here at Chaffin, covers it. It's a very good program. They're willing to not share any of our data with our students, which that talks about inside of COPA. They can't share any of the data from our students. It's actually illegal. So we look at the platforms. First of all, are they compliant with the laws? If they're compliant with the laws, then we're going one step further. But the very interesting thing is that it is at the beginning phases. People are still able to tell if it's not you. It hasn't gotten to the level where it can mimic a person. Even with the art. So like they're saying people are doing all these art. AI can't do hands. They can't do their certain pieces. So if you're trying to keep up with it, you're going to know what's a fake and what's a not, what is not currently with those pieces in place. But AI is just a learning platform. It can only learn what it's programmed to learn and can't go past that. So, and it also has a limit if it's connected to the internet or not connected to the internet. So like ChatGPT, that was 3, it was only connected to the internet until 2021. So if you ask it a current question, it couldn't answer. The current ChatGPT 4 is connected. So it does get current data. So you have to know what the platform is capable of also before you use it.
I learned a whole lot in
I'm sorry.
3 minutes. No, that's great. I mean, this is something that our folks need to know. We as educators have to, we always say, I borrow from my mentor, Dr. Daggett, we got to prepare our scholars for their future and not our past. And, I'm transparent that, there's things, I love technology, but I want to make sure that we're safe, that we're doing the right things. So, I want to learn, and that's what we have you here for, to help us continue to stay on top of those types of things and, learn how to use things efficiently, but also in a manner that's going to protect the district. So thank you. And thank you. Another example of her really just going above and beyond. I didn't ask her to go take any classes. That's her doing what she does. All right. So tell us about some other technology resources that we have in the district that are maybe, things that you're excited about.
So there are actually many exciting things going on in this district. If you didn't know, like I know currently at Chaffin, we do have the gaming class that goes on where they teach them how to code and game and do all those kinds of things. It's very exciting. Starting in our elementary schools, we have STEAM that's in there. So our students start to learn coding. They learn 3D printing. They learn robots. They start with drones, which is very exciting for the STEAM program. And then we also, on the technology side, try to teach them netiquette, which that's what we call it, internet etiquette. So making sure our kids know how to write an email. What does that look like? What should I put in the subject line? How do I write a paper? How do I write an email? All of the etiquette that should be on the internet, we're also teaching them that, and that K-5 level. Then once they move into the middle school, there's also so many programs that are very interesting that are happening in there. But again, teaching the students the correct way. We're talking about next year, maybe introducing a piece with the AI to teach the students how to use it appropriately. What does that mean? What is ethically should you be using with AI, and what does that look like as a student and as a teacher?
Got it.
So,
all right. Again, on the cutting edge, but pushing and going to the next level. So one of the things that we do in the district that is absolutely fabulous and talked about across the state is Tech in the Yo.
Yes.
We do Tech in the Yo every year. Share with us what the conference is, how it started, what we do, and how folks can get involved in enhancing it.
Absolutely. So Tech in the Yo is our annual technology conference for our staff in our district. And we try to cover every single technology platform that we use in the district. If you don't know, all of our curriculum currently has a hands-on piece, but then it also has an online piece. So our staff needs to be able to use all of those pieces together to create a fantastic curriculum. So we've been doing it. This is our 8th year doing Tech in the Yo. It started as we went to a conference, and I just happened to mention to John LaPlante at the time, who happened to be my boss, and I would say I would love to do a technology conference, and he said, "Let me see what I can do." And that was really the catalyst. I didn't have any parameters. I didn't have any budget.
Okay.
So all of the keynote speakers were free.
Okay.
Everything that we did had minimal cost, and we were able to have all of our vendors come out and present to our teachers, because that was included in purchasing their content. And that has actually expanded until this year. And now most of our presenters are our own staff. So now our own staff comes out and teaches our teachers how to include the content, what they do to make their classrooms more exciting.
So what I hear, and guys, I got to connect it back to Belly. What I hear is, you developed a plan, a game plan. We had other folks helping us, but now our folks have learned the game, and they've learned the playbook, and they're executing and running it. And obviously we're going to always continue to use other folks that are partners and resources to help. But I love the fact that whenever I see that booklet and I see teachers and administrators and our communications person and other people leading sessions, that to me is that train the trainer, train up. And let's be honest, in this game, we like to hear from our own sometimes. And sometimes it's more relevant. I love to hear from superintendents who are leading in urban districts. No disrespect to any others, but there's a different set of things that we have going on. So I know teachers like to hear from their colleagues who are teaching down the hall from them or across the city from them. It's powerful in that ongoing development. So it is one of the greatest things that we do. I remember walking in the district 6 years ago, and they were like, "You got to go to Tech in the Yo." I'm like, "Man, I got a school to run, man. I'm ready to get in the building. I'm coming new to the district, taking over East. I'm excited. I got work to do." And then they're like, "Well, you got to go. It's mandatory." And I'm like, okay. One of the best things I've ever been to in my life.
Fantastic. So I also, I guess I should share this with you. So we've been asked by some people at the county if they can actually attend our Tech in the Yo.
That is so
From
awesome.
other districts, they would actually want to come and attend. So we've never talked about opening it up. So that's just something for you to put in your thinking cap.
It's in my thinking cap, and I'm on, as long as we can accommodate and our folks have their seat at the table, we would love to share with our friends across the county and even across the state if they want to come in. So the answer is yes.
Okay.
All right.
That's fantastic.
All right. So we're having the Youngstown Honors, which was a vision from I'll give all credit to Crystal Hawthorne. Based off of some state interviews and things that she did when she first joined the district when I hired her in HR a couple of years ago. We've developed this program that is about our scholars, but it's the staff that work with our scholars. They work their tails off, as you've heard here. And so we definitely wanted to recognize and honor them. And so we're having our second annual Youngstown Honors this year. And you are one of the 2024 Anthony De Niro Distinguished Service Award recipients. And I want to just kind of outline, for those of you who don't know, and I'm pretty sure most of you do know, Anthony De Niro, longtime service to Youngstown City School District, ended his service. Unfortunately, we lost Tony during COVID, but he was dedicated to Youngstown for, I can't remember the exact years, but I'm pretty sure it was over 50 years. And we always say that pretty much Tony gave his life for this district. And so this is one of those awards that is really special that we're able to name after him. And then individuals who get this award have to follow in that mode of Tony De Niro. And you're one of those individuals. So tell us, how was the experience of finding out that you would be the recipient of that award?
So I was actually surprised. I had no idea that I had been nominated. I had no idea that somebody thought I was worthy. So I was very shocked and I was very honored because I knew him as a person and he did bleed Youngstown City School District. Everything he did was for Youngstown City School District. So I feel extremely honored to even be in that category with him because he had put a lot more years in than I have. And that's a true honor. So very heartfelt, I can tell you that.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. Tony was that guy, and the mold, like you said, that he set an example, and this award was named after him and people that are worthy, and you are worthy, because you lead the same way that he did. So, all right. So this podcast is a lot about leadership, and you are in a leadership role, which we're all in leadership roles, but you do have a department and individuals who work directly with you. How do you define leadership?
So I think leadership to me is inspiring others to find out what they're really good at and step outside their box and reach a little bit more and become great on their own. Okay. That's my definition. That's how I feel like a leader should behave, is inspire the people that are below them and want them to accomplish as much as they can. And sometimes take them outside of their box that they think of things that they cannot do. Absolutely. So, and I've been blessed to work with a lot of leaders that thought that of me. Mm-hmm. So I would definitely say that would be a leader. I think, leading your staff and making sure that you identify though what their strong points are, and then supporting them where they are strong and where they are weak, just seeing if they can increase. But yeah, so that's my idea. Absolutely.
We kind of captured on this past weekend at YSU's graduation. One of the speakers was Mr. Dexter Caffey, who's a Youngstown native. And his title was "Stay Uncomfortable." And I was sitting there listening. I'm like, well, that's a tough ask, but it really is. Sometimes we got to take people outside of their box so that they can grow. Focus and hone in on the things that they do well. Keep practicing those things. Keep getting better and better at those things. But in order to truly get better, we also have to be uncomfortable sometimes, so that we also don't rest on our laurels. And I can truly say about you, you could say, hey, I got 20 some years in and, I've done this and done that, but you just told us I'm doing AI classes on my own, doing different things, staying uncomfortable to get better at what we do. So I appreciate you. And as a part of this team, I feel comfortable that we stay uncomfortable enough to keep moving forward, but I know we're in good hands when it comes to instructional technology in this district. So any last words that you want to share with the community, with the school district or the community at whole, or your family or anybody?
I just think I'm very blessed to have gotten a job in Youngstown City Schools. I'm blessed to have the position that I'm in. I am blessed that I had administrators that believed in me to be where that I can be. Also, my family is included because my family supported me the whole time. I'm very lucky. And I think if you're lucky enough, you get to be an employee and you feel like YCSD is your family and you want to become a part of this family. So
couldn't have said it better myself. We're going to keep running it until they stop it. Till next time.
This podcast is the property of Showfit Broadcasting and Youngstown City Schools. Showfit audio and video broadcasting students recorded and produced this episode.